Mr. Happy Living here, and I'm happy to be broadcasting from WITV7 in the beautiful Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. Hey friends, come and join me for a minute and imagine how amazing you'd feel living the unique and distinct life you were put on this planet to live, doing work you love, with people you love, in places you love, and all the while creating something of real value for others. That's what I call a life of significance. And I can tell you, it makes a very happy life. And so can Sandy White. She's my guest star today, and she's here to share her unique and distinct journey to her life of significance. Hey, Sandy, welcome to the show.
Hi, Matt. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. So will you just get us started by telling us what you're doing these days to make your mark of significance on the world?
So what I'm doing these days, and that's a really good question. I am still making the world a better place by, my mission is to help individuals with simple tips and strategies. And our goal is to reach 1 million individuals, because right now we're still dealing with the effects of the pandemic and how it kind of affected individuals being, I guess, in their words, cooped up. So helping individuals simple tips and strategies through nutrition and health, it helps them, it helps your body, it helps the community, and overall, basically, I just like helping people. And because when you give, it seems like it's tiny, but that little more so that you give to someone else sparks what they've got going on, and then they just keep sparking the next person, so on and so forth. I like living in a happy environment, so I don't mind giving and serving. And actually, that's what my name means, Sandra. It means helper of man. So if I help you to be your best self, I get a benefit by living a happy, safe, successful, long, prosperous life.
I like it. What is it about moms over 40 that are stressed out that gets you fired up?
So the thing is, I want to say maybe 35 years ago, or a little longer, people were having children sooner, but folks trying to climb up the corporate ladder and so on and so forth, they literally put creating their families on hold. And so they started having children later in life. And with that, I don't want to say unfortunately, but and I fell in that category of having children later in life, did not consider the fact that even though you're taking care of yourself, your body still goes through that natural change. And so when you have a baby, it's stress. It's stress regardless of what your age is. But then when you add on the natural effects that your body goes through on top of childbirth, it really does a number on you. And a lot of women were having challenges, like super duper challenges. You have mommy brain, but having mommy brain for years after you've had your child, it's very stressful, and it affects every area of your life. And so I just thought, hey, let me help out folks, because a lot of times you will do what you thought you should be doing when you were at a certain age, but unfortunately each section of your life, every 10 years, your body changes. What you did when you were in your 20s doesn't necessarily work when you were in your 30s, doesn't necessarily work when you move. And so on and forth, where you get the point. And it's not that people don't know what to do, but they're kind of frustrated. And so this is why when I started this, I was like, God, if I'm gonna, because I did this earlier in my life, and I stopped when I had my kids. And I was like, okay, if I'm gonna come back, I gotta come back strong. And so God was like, do simple tips and strategies. So don't go through all I'm talking all long and drawn out. Just get to the meat and potatoes of it and hit it and quit it, so they can see the results. And it just works like wildfire.
I talked, we have so much knowledge today. We don't need to give knowledge. It's about how do you take the things that you already know and do it. So it's more like motivation and encouragement. Yes. And like you say, simple tips or tricks to encourage what you already know to be done, right?
Yeah, I mean, they seem like tricks and stuff to the folks that I work with, but they're simple strategies. Like my husband is a Marine, and I always do my classes like a boot camp. People just want the results,
Yeah.
and unfortunately they don't want to go through, like you just said, all of that. Girl, just give me what you got so I can see the results. And when I realized that, I was like, okay, it works for me because I don't want to go through all that anyway. You do this, and this, and you're gonna get this result. And then if you want to come back to understand why I told you to do this, and this, then that's cool. And that's how the classes came, because people wanted the results up front, and then I want to learn and on the back end so I can repeat it at will. Because really, I'm like a hospital, but I'm not like a traditional hospital. I'm like, let me show you what you got to do, like I just said, so you can repeat it at will. But I don't want to see you again. I want to show you what you got to do. And I want, because it's like a hairdresser. If I'm all jacked up in my own head and you telling somebody you came to my salon and I'm looking jacked, that's kind of like an oxymoron. So I want to look good. I want to have good results, and I want you to have those results. So if you tell somebody I helped you, they're not going to be like, she looks kind of sketchy.
Give my audience 30 seconds on why they should also watch Simply Fitt Radio when they're at WITV7 watching something significant.
So I want to say the first tip is, again, like I just said, something simple. A lot of times you already know what you got, you know what you have to do, but you're not breaking it down where it's making sense to you. I'll give you an example real quick and easy. Chia seeds. Most people know about chia seeds, but they don't know that if you take 2 tablespoons, let it soak a little bit, or put it in your food a little bit, so it can kind of like, it bursts, if y'all don't know, and it looks like tea bubbles, or but anyway, you're gonna have a good movement, because if it ain't coming out, it ain't gonna come off. So I kind of like a 2 for 1. Some chia seeds, 2 tablespoons at night, it's gonna come off and your belly gonna go down, and then the next thing, you're gonna feel good, and you're not gonna be grumpy, and you're not gonna get on your nerves, your family nerves, and your community. No, seriously, when you don't take care of yourself, you really get on your nerves, and you get on other people's nerves. Yes, and I am like this in class.
100%. Thank you, Sandy. All right. So let's do a little mathematics so our friends all around the world can get to know you through our happy formula. It's a simple but a very powerful formula, and it goes like this: power plus purpose equals happy. So let's start with power. And will you tell us, what are your practices for building up your personal power that you need to get things done, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, emotionally? In other words, Sandy, what do you do on a regular basis to create all the power you need to take really good care of yourself and your loved ones, and still have plenty left over so you can be a giver to others?
Okay, so the first one, which, if you believe in God or don't believe in God, for me, I seek God first, because if it ain't gonna please him, it ain't gonna work. I'm just telling y'all like it is. And then I spend time journaling, and I listen. And sometimes I don't get an answer right away, and that's just kind of how I roll. So I meditate, I listen to God, I seek him first. I write down questions at night. What's my next step? Is this the right thing? And then personal time for myself. And then I make sure I get me enough sleep, and I exercise, because I can be a grumpy mama if I don't get those in order.
What's your exercise, your favorite exercises?
Oh, the rower. I love doing the rower.
I
love
the
it.
rower.
Yeah.
That's the best all body exercise. Yeah, I haven't had it for a long time. I miss it.
Yeah,
all
and
right.
then getting in the sauna. So, get those muscles, and getting in the sauna. So I have a sauna. So, you get that lactic acid, and people like to give all those excuses. I don't want to be sore.
If you don't have a sauna, you can go to happyliving.com and check out our partners. We have a beautiful portable sauna from Relax Sauna. And that's great. I love when you get in there too. It's just awesome for the body. All right, Sandy, let's dive into my favorite power generating concept called a Kaizen state of mind. This is a beautiful Japanese idea that small incremental improvements add up over time to yield great big results. And I love it because it's based on mindset, not circumstance. Kaizening life is knowing there's always something I can do better tomorrow than today. And for me, it creates this optimistic, gentle, but powerful and continuous uplifting of my life day after day after day. So Sandy, how does Kaizen in your life help you increase your personal power to continuously become more so you can continuously give more?
So for me, that would be a two-parter. One, humans are not cookie cutters. So whatever your plan is, you have to take the time to adjust it to that individual and meet them where they're at. And then you need to do bite-sized pieces, and you need to learn from your mistakes. So I don't look at mistakes as negative. I look at them as results. That's not the result that I want. So where do I need to tweak it so that I'm better the next go around? So for me, that's what that would be.
Yeah, and I like in my research for you, the getting away from fad diets or trends or whatever, those are prescriptions for a generalized audience that are not going to fit for every individual.
Right.
So how do you encourage the clients that you work with to take your advice, but then to own it and to change it so it fits them?
Well, they have to do an assessment. So once I see the assessment and they actually see that, because this is why I tell people to journal, because a lot of times people literally are oblivious to what they are doing. But if they write it down, they're like, oh my God, I did this and I did it in this amount and I ate this. Oh my God. And I had this, and it's like, it's so much easier when it's written down and you do it over a 5-day period. And literally that, for some people, that's the hardest part. They have to track what they have been doing. And I only ask them to do it for a week because you can see so much of what somebody's doing. It's not always the outside, it's what's going on in here, because when they do the assessment, I ask them, how do you feel when you ate this, when you drank that, when you did, it's all in the weeds. And then I can tweak it. It's to me, it's simple because I like doing this.
And one of the things that I've discovered in my life is, if you are trying to accomplish a goal, losing weight, becoming less stressed, being more fit, whatever it is, and you go to a coach, and that coach, and we go to Sandy and she says, okay, you should row. Because I row, I love rowing. And I say, okay, rowing's going to help me get fit and lose weight. That's great. But if I get on the rowing machine and I hate it,
right.
And it's a drudgery. And when I go to bed at night, I say, oh God, I got to get up and row tomorrow. Then I should go back to my coach and say, coach, how can I achieve the objective without rowing? I hate rowing. What else could I do?
I'm so glad you asked that. And that is what the FIT means. Fun, intentional, total training. And I do this all the time. I like rowing. I like jumping rope. I like doing challenges. You're going to do a challenge with me. But I get people like that all the time. And I know that. That's why I let people know I don't operate on a cookie cutter. I have people roller skating. That is a form of exercising. I have people hula hooping. You may not like what I like. I mean, and like I said, my husband is a Marine, so I'm all the hula. I like doing all that crazy stuff. But then you get some people that are like, I'm super Chrissy, Missy. I'm not going to do that. And I know that. Yeah. So I have to be flexible and I have to meet people where they're at. And plus somebody might have they may have done something to injure their back or their knees or whatever. And I have to make sure that I don't make that worse. My job is to make it better. My job is to make it fun for them. And they're where they're at because something caused them to stop doing it. And it's my job to get them back on track. But I don't want you coming back to me. I want you to keep moving.
Yeah. And when you find that you're getting effective results with things you like, then you go to bed instead of with drudgery. I can't wait to get up in the morning and go roller skating again. Tomorrow's roller skating day. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because everybody's so stuck on, okay, let's do some reps and we're going to do. I don't like doing that, but you do have to do cardio and strength training. There are other ways to get that done.
Correct. All right, let's talk about purpose. This is the second element of the happy formula. And I've observed that the really big major life transformations or discovery of purpose often come from devastation. It might be addiction or abuse or disease, death, disaster, something awful strips a life to its core, and it results in a great big change. However, in my book, Turning Inspiration into Action, I share the transformational process that I've used to discover my purpose of life using inspiration. So how about you, Sandy? Was there a specific moment or event or crisis or inspiration that revealed to you the purpose you were meant to live?
Yes, but mine is, it ended in death. So it was my dad. We were like two peas in a pod, and hopefully I won't get emotional on you, but for some other reason, he wouldn't motivate himself. And he had diabetes. And a lot of times, I don't know why people don't realize that's reversible or super duper manageable, because there are kids that are born with it, but you can manage it or you can kick it. But he just gave up, and he ended up having a kidney transfer, and he had what is that? He had an aneurysm. I mean, it just kept getting worse. And the thing is, he wouldn't have got to that point if he had, because diabetes is managed by what you eat and moving. So at one point he was doing what he was supposed to do. And then he, like I said, he stopped. And I started out as a PT, and I realized that's not going to help people the way I want them to be helped. I need to get into the weeds. I need to get into their mindset. And what people don't realize, you have two brains. So if your gut is off, it's going to tell this thing up here stupid stuff. And unfortunately, he wouldn't. But what I don't want to say what he wouldn't do. I saw what was occurring, but over the years and learning, I realized that it's not all. A lot of times people are trying. Let me get this out real quick. People, you see them eating bad, but when their gut health is off, the bad ones are fighting the good ones, and they're the ones saying, give me the cookies, the cakes, and the pies. And it looks like the person is not being in control, but it's really not them necessarily. It's the fact that they didn't know all they had to do was fix their gut health, so that it stops sending the negative signals to their brain. Because a lot of times people think this one upstairs is the one that leads it, but it's the one in your belly. Yeah. And so when my dad died, I just made a 180. And my husband and I just started, working with folks that, like, you got to understand that it is so much of what you eat. You got to do, make everything has to be in balance. Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, what you eat, we got that all down. But a lot of people don't know that it's like a puzzle piece. And so when you're missing one, which we've gotten puzzles before, you're like, where's that dang on piece at? I can't fix it. I just figured, okay, I'm not going to have my dad's legacy be in vain. I'm really going to do something to help folks.
That's awesome. How old was your dad when he died?
63. So he was a young fella.
And yes, very young. I just turned 62. He was a baby.
Yeah.
Well, how long ago was that?
So my son, my oldest boy, is 14, and that was 12 and a half years ago. Okay. And unfortunately, I still get emotional when I talk about it, but I take it as fuel, because there are so many people still in that position that need help. And when your mind isn't functioning right, and that's the same thing when people are dealing with suicide and depression, it really is what you're feeding your brain, what you're putting in your ear gate, what you're putting before your eye gate. And they literally need someone, just like a 2-year-old when they're acting up. Okay, sweetie, let me redirect you. I don't even tell my kids when they're cutting up, you're doing bad. Nope, let me redirect you. And that's literally what they need, but they don't need it in a cookie cutter manner.
Was it suicide with your dad?
No, he had an aneurysm, and he fell. My dad was a CAD operator, and they were working on some building, and he literally fell 12 stories from the thing he was on. And he ended up in a coma for several months. And when he came out, I think it was maybe 2 months after he came home, and then he just said, I'm ready to go home. And it was like, see you in heaven.
So, wow, what a story. And then, so what is your impetus to combat suicide and depression? I know you're a co-author of The Daily Dose of Declarations, a book that focuses on combating suicide and depression. What got you involved in that? So
that part was segued to the fact that that's the second part. He didn't know. I guess he was so far down the road, and he was a PK kid. And that's what I didn't understand. But I didn't understand then, but I understand now. When the brain upstairs is like, it's misfiring like crazy, you literally need somebody to come in and spoon feed you like you're an infant, to get you back to the point where you can take care and do it on your own. He wasn't listening to the right words, the right music. He didn't have the right things before him. And I operate off a Christian base, even though I have individuals that are, non-Christian, they're secular. I still work with you from where you're at, and I let you know this is where I'm working from. This is my stepping stone, my basis. And if you're not comfortable with that, then I'm not going to be the right coach for you, because God is never going to lead you in the wrong direction. So I tell them that right there. And it's not like I'm preaching you, trying to get you to cross over, whatever. I'm just telling you where I'm at, and you're not going to change my mind, because my God don't change. He gives you the right results. He leads you, guides you, and directs you into all truth. So if you want it from me, I'm getting it from him, and you're going to come out with the right results. I'm just that cocky and that confident.
Amen. All right, Sandy, let's take a quick break for our sponsor to spread a little. Mr. Happy Living here. I love good things made by good people. That's why I love my Relax Sauna. I bask in its healing far infrared rays every morning. In just 20 minutes, I sweat as much as if I'd run 4 miles. But I'm not exhausted. Instead, I feel great. And I've boosted my metabolism, burned calories, sweated away toxins, and some body fat too. What a relaxing and healthy way to start a day. A study in Finland found people who regularly use saunas live longer and have fewer fatal heart problems. So get the benefits of a sauna in your home for your family too. It's surprisingly affordable, it's portable, and it fits nearly anywhere. Go to happyliving.com and select Partners in Happy to get $100 off any purchase of $1,000 or more. And I'll donate another $100 for every order placed during the entire month of December to WYTV7. So here's my idea for you. Get a relaxed sauna for yourself this holiday season and give another as a gift. And we're back, and this is the Something Significant show, and I'm your host, Matt Gersper. And my special guest star today is Sandy White. She's a self-described mompreneur and a health advocate for stressed out moms, and a #1 Amazon best-selling author, and a #1 health and wellness cheerleader. And she's dedicated her life's work to study the real science about fitness, food, and nutrition to help her clients restore their mental clarity and vibrant health. I love that, Sandy. And I think you're going to love this article that I found on lifescience.com. It's called The Science Behind the Power of Giving. Okay. And it says that the act of giving itself can be a gateway to discovering your reason for being on the planet. It tells how science supports the idea that giving one's time and talents and treasures is a powerful pathway for discovering purpose and overcoming difficulties and finding fulfillment and meaning in life. So I decided I should update our formula. Power plus purpose plus giving equals really happy. So what do you think, Sandy? Has giving your time and your talents and your treasures been a pathway for you to discover your purpose and for getting past difficulties that you've faced and for bringing real, true meaning into your life?
You are hitting on all the good questions. And this is one of the questions that we get a lot. And the answer is for folks dealing with suicide and depression. If you focus on what you're dealing with, not that you shouldn't, I'm not taking away from that, but if you focus on, for me, take that away. Hey, Matt needs some groceries. Matt needs, if it's winter, go shovel Matt. Take yourself off of yourself and go find somebody else that needs. And I mean, I'm telling you, this is straight from the word. That mess will just dissipate like quickly when you give to someone else. It's not always your money. And I used to be the director for my church, Spirit of Faith Christian Center. But when I had my kids, I stopped because I wanted to make sure they were good. Now they're like, I don't want to say sucking me back in, but they just call me, hey, can you come take over again? And I really like making sure that people are focused and that they're redirected, as I said early, in the right direction. And it's unfortunate for family members when they could see somebody going in the wrong direction. But when a stranger comes and says, I just noticed A, B, C, D, E, or G, you need to do this. We are so weird as humans, we will go and do it. And so when I realized that God gave me that voice of reason for some individuals, because I mean, I'm not going to reach everybody, but
Yeah.
those that I can reach, I'm like, okay, I'm going for it. That was the worst thing Satan could have did, man. I was so glad to get saved. I was like, oh, it's on, it's on, it's on, it's on. And then I realized that health and wellness was my field. And yes, I'm crazy like this all the time. People ask my husband, like, how much coffee does she drink? He's like, that's not coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's how, when you find your gig, you have this energy. And so science tells us what the Bible has known since time began, that giving to others helps bring real meaning to our lives. And I completely agree. I
Yeah.
just love the feeling that comes from our fourth element of significance, doing work that creates value for others, giving, because the magic of life comes not from getting more, but from giving more. But there's something more to it than that, Sandy. It's not just the giving that's magical. What I've been learning from all my guests and in my own life too, it's when you're giving from living in your purpose. That's where the real magic is. So I want you to know, or I want to know how it makes you feel to be happily living your life and giving to others through the work you were put on this planet to do, and the people all around you have taken notice. So Sandy, just sit back, open your heart, and have a listen to what people are saying about the impact you're making on their lives by finding and living the magic in your life. So one of your clients says, I replace diet foods with more delicious, nutrient-dense foods, and my cravings and mindless eating disappeared. I've lost 13 pounds in just 12 weeks. Another said, following Sandy's program helped me lose 10 pounds while eating more. I've bounced from one diet to another over the years, and I've never had results like this that actually felt like they'd stick. Another says, I lost 7 pounds in 2 weeks. The cleanse was so different that the deprivation plans that I've been using in the past, not only was the food delicious, Barkley, stop barking, but I never felt hungry. And another, the program increased my ability to hone in on my symptoms. I love that one, and relate them back to my diet. Thank you, Sandy, for putting me on the right path to healthier eating. And finally, this client said, going through Sandy's program allowed me to feel like myself again. My energy increased, my cravings decreased, and I feel better than I have in months. So, wow, Sandy, how does all that love make you feel?
I love it. I mean, you think about when you give someone instructions, someone may not be in a business that I'm in or you're in, but you may have kids. And I kind of do those instructions, which makes it, the example makes it easier for someone to understand. When you give those instructions, you've seen further down the road what it will be like if you do this. It's no different than God. God is backwards. He went all the way to the end and he was like, okay, snickerdoodles, I need you to do this, step on this yellow brick road, poo, 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 and do this, do that. And he don't need you asking him the question, how about if I step on the orange one? No, I say yellow and you're going to get to the end and you're going to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, man. I'm all weirdo like that. But I tell people that and it make them laugh and they're like, I never thought about it like that. Yeah, I know, that's why I'm here. And I don't want you to keep paying me. And I keep telling people that, because if you come back to me a second time, I'm going to be harder on you. Yeah. And I'm not, but I'm going to love up on you no different than God. But it's not always easy when you got to keep repeating, because that means you didn't learn the lesson the first time. So you got to do it again. So if
coaching like you do, and it's like the biblical verse about don't give a man a fish, teach a man how to fish.
Right.
And how much joy do you get when your clients are learning how to fish or learning how to take care of themselves on their own? Isn't that just the ultimate?
Yeah. For me, I enjoy that. For other people,
yeah,
they don't want to give all of the secrets because they're like, that's how I keep the people. No, this is what God told me to do. Like, Miss Libby got on me and she was like, girl, you gotta, because I was just giving all the cookies away. So I'm horned it down where I don't give too much away, but I love just helping people, because if God put it inside of me to give it away, who am I to say to hoard on to it? That's stupid. Yep. I'm supposed to give it away. That's what he told me to do.
Yep. And that love that you're expressing right there is what this show is all about. Finding that magic in each of our lives. Yours is your way, mine is my way, but it's available to everyone listening to this show. And it comes from this great big happy circle. Giving your time and talents and treasures is a powerful pathway for discovering your purpose. And giving from living in your purpose brings profound joy to your life, but it brings joy to the lives of those around you. So giving leads to purpose, and giving from purpose leads to joy. So to more properly capture the exponential power of our happy formula, Sandy, let me tweak it just a little bit more and say it like this: power times purpose times giving equals happy to the third power. And that's really, truly, deeply happy. Does that sound about right to you?
Yes, because I'm super fulfilled. And what people don't realize is when you give, the way you think God is going to hook you up, it's never that way. It is never. That's why you should never try to figure it out. The man said, give it away, I give it away. And then I get, blessed. And I'm not even like expecting it. I'm just super happy that Sally Sue got her results and she can keep moving. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then that's just one less grumpy human in the world. I'm sorry, that's how I look at it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's our mission, improving the happy of the world, one person at a time. So we're aligned. Okay, Sandy, great stuff. Now let's wrap things up with a lightning round. I just love the power of words, have my whole life, and the capacity for great quotes to change lives. So I'm going to read a few of my favorites, and I want you to tell us what they mean to you. And give us the very first thing that comes to your mind, Sandy, because it's called a lightning round.
All right.
So here we go. This is from Dr. Mark Hyman. If you don't address inflammation, you'll never succeed at effective and permanent weight loss.
That is actually true. So what I think of is when you walking around looking like a Goodyear blimp. So you don't want to look like that. You don't want to, because it hurts when you have inflammation if people don't realize. And on top of that, it causes additional challenges and onset diseases. So you got to take care of that like right away.
Yeah, good stuff. This is from Okakura Pakuzo. And he says, the art of life lies in a constant readjustment to our surroundings.
Yes. If you don't have the ability to repeat what you've learned at will and be flexible in tweaking it, then you're going to stay stuck. You're going to be left behind. And if people don't realize that every day is not the same day. It's not. Monday last week is not the same as Monday this week. And if you think it is, you need to come see me so I can help you with the correction, because it's not. And you have to be flexible, because we deal with a God that's an awesome God, but he's also a backwards God, meaning you think I'm supposed to do business as usual. And in your meditation time, he said, don't go that way today, go this way. Yeah. But that's why he left Holy Spirit here to lead, God, and direct you. And so when you hear Holy Spirit, people say something told me, whatever you want to say is Holy Spirit, whatever. Don't go this way, go here. Don't leave the house at this time. You know what I'm saying? Don't eat this today, because what people don't realize, and sometimes this is why I pray over the food, because it could be poisonous. They could have not cooked it all the way, and then you end up, I won't say poisonous, but they didn't cook it all the way, and you end up with food poison because your tail was being greedy. So sorry, Matt. I need to tame it down.
That's good stuff. No, ma'am. So, and you reminded me, every day is a different day, and we're different people. There's another quote I didn't prepare for this session, but it says, no man ever goes to the same river twice, because he's not the same man and it's not the same river. Everything is always moving. So we have to move. And that's what Kakuzo was saying. So this quote is from Michelangelo. This quote's from Michelangelo. He said, the sculpture is already complete within the marble block before I start my work. It's already there.
Yes.
I just have to chisel away the unnecessary rock.
Yes. But that's the same as us as humans. We already have what it is inside of us to be great. First of all, we got to believe what God said about us. You can't believe what nobody else say. You got to know who you are, child of the Most High God, blood washed, Most High God. If I'm in God's image and his likeness, I'm a bad mamma jamma. So I am destined and I'm supposed to come and dominate. I'm supposed to be on top. I'm not supposed to look raggedy. I'm not supposed to talk raggedy. I'm not supposed to do nothing raggedy. So every day, if I'm not where I'm supposed to be, where I'm like this or above, I need to, okay, let me, like I told you earlier, tweak it. My husband thinks I'm like loco, but I don't care because I'm supposed to do what God told me to do, dominate. That's how we help so many people.
Yep. India Ree, I think in one of her songs says, God didn't make no mistake on me.
No, he ain't make no mistake on nobody. But if you believe otherwise, which I don't, the man said I'm great. The man said I'm rich. The man said I'm healthy. All right, what else you want to say about me? Yes, I receive it. Amen.
Amen. This is from Helen Keller. I long to accomplish great and noble tasks, but it's my chief duty to accomplish humble tasks as though they were great and noble.
Yeah, nobody likes a cocky know-it-all. Just because I may know so more than you, don't mean I can't listen. This is why I realize that everybody's not a cookie cutter, and I have to meet people where they're at. They may be at the dumbest level possible, but that's not for me to go say you dumb. I don't have to hurt your feelings to get you where you got to go. I don't have to, regurgitate all of my knowledge on you. I'm just supposed to help you in the easiest, most positive. That's why it's called Simply Fitt, with simple tips and strategies.
Yep. But humility is also, you may know more about health and nutrition than I do, because that's your field or that's your gift from God. But I might know more, I don't, about this one, about car mechanics. Right. So the person that you're describing as dumb in nutrition might be a genius in his or her field.
Absolutely.
And so we all have to have that humility. Okay, this is from Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God and those who are called according to his purpose.
So we are all one. The body, you got hands, you got a head, you got spine, leg, but they can't work by themselves. They work cohesively. And so when we operate like that, you get a better result. I don't even know what you call the little thing, but when your leg is back on that little thing and you scooting, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to, that's not how I want to present myself. I want to present myself in a cohesive manner from top of my head to the soles of my feet. And I want to be able to do that for someone else in a manner that they can understand and they can respect, and that they can, again, I love that, repeat what I'm telling them at will, but it's going to be their flavor. And they'll reach someone else to help someone else.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, this is the show anchor. It's from Goff. And he said, whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now.
Yeah, God said, come to him bold as a lion. I'm like, all right, I don't wake up and I'm like, hey, something wrong with me. So I tell people, find something. Like right now, I am so hooked on, this is a secular song, but I like it. It's a Michael Jackson song. And it's just, the beats, the words, I'm like on it. And my husband's like, girl, it's like 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, all right, well, come on, dude. He's looking at me like, you are seriously, something is wrong. But you got to get yourself to the point where you are on and popping. It could be a verse, it could be a song, it could be someone like you. This is why I always tell people, don't compare yourself to somebody else, but don't be the smartest in your group. I never do that. I always put myself in a situation where I'm constantly learning, and I'm constantly in a group where I'm not the smartest, because I don't know everything and I want to keep learning. The moment you stop learning, the moment you stop being willing to be flexible and change, is the moment you're going to start dying.
Yes, ma'am. And now, folks, it's your chance to be a giver too. If you can hear my voice and you were inspired by today's show as Sandy White, please share a little love with our amazing broadcast team by giving what you can to WITV7. They're a 501c3 charity on a mission to educate, empower, and encourage. They do good works with your kindness. Sandy, I love how you encourage stressed out moms to restore their mental clarity and youthful energy with your health and nutrition coaching. And I admire your mission to save 1 million lives through the Word of God and by living a healthy and balanced lifestyle. And I'm super happy that you shared your encouraging and optimistic and very exciting spirit with us on our show today. Would you take a minute or two and share any parting remarks you'd like to leave with our audience?
So what I would like to say is everything that Matt just told you all is excellent and it's true, but it also keeps you looking young, feeling young. You don't have to look stressed out. If you are happy and you're doing all this stuff, you will be vigorous in every part of your life. You won't look grumpy. You won't feel grumpy. You'll be willing to go the extra mile. And also, you also don't have to do this by yourself. So grab somebody else's hand and pull them over the fence with you. Don't be stingy and get all the goodies and leave your friends behind.
I like it. All right. I also want to thank WITV7 for hosting and promoting our show so we can keep interviewing inspiring guest stars like Sandy and reaching folks just like you ready to create your own extraordinary lives. And most especially, thank you, viewers and listeners. You'll find links to websites and social media and all things Sandy White. Find her, friend her, sign up for her boot camp, check out her upcoming events, watch her videos, and buy her book, The Daily Dose of Declarations, if you or someone you love needs help to overcome depression and low self-esteem. It's all at simplyfittwithsandy.wixsite.com. That's SIMPLYFITT with Sandy.wixsite.com. And also check out her Live Good nutritional products at the shoplivegood.com/Simply Fitt. So one more time, you can find those nutritional products at shoplive, LIVE, good.com/SIMPLYFIT. And from me to you, dear friends, I love you and I want you to be really, truly, deeply happy too. So I want you to go to happyliving.com right now and take our happy quiz. Because when you measure your happy, you'll focus attention on it. And focusing attention on it inspires change and learning and improvement, all to flow right into your life. And once you take the quiz, and it really only takes a minute, please give some thought about what we can do together, you and me, to improve the happy of your world, one person at a time. Till next time, I'm Matt Gersper. You are awesome, and this is the Something Significant Show. And we're out.